Hello there and welcome back. Today we talk about the beautiful Intellijel Sealegs. I thought I had enough delay and reverb, and when this came out, I promised to myself I'm not gonna buy it, and then of course I bought it. It is beautiful and I really love Intellijel. I didn't get this for free or a discount, I paid with full price. It's just like I really love what they're doing, and for my modular system, the modular performance system, I decided to have 3 voices and each voice had its own effects. So the Atlantis goes into the Sealegs, the harmonic oscillator into the mimeophone, and the cursus iteritas alia into the emitter version. Before going on, few ways you can support me. Please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, free. You can buy from the affiliate link down below. You'll pay exactly the same amount of money, whatever things you're gonna buy, and I get a tiny percentage out of that. And you can become a patron. On Patreon, I reply to all of your questions, do one-on-one, and you find hundreds of videos. Last things, listen to my music, go to Spotify. I just released an EP with Luca Longobardi, and a new EP is coming in a few weeks. So please help me in that too. I will appreciate it. Okay, let's go back. Let's listen what was happening. So for today, we are gonna listen exclusively to the Atlantis, into the Sealeg, or the Vongon Replay. I love using the Replay because also it's a simple synth that sounds gorgeous and it shines with the Sealegs. So, first, this is the clean sound, classic sequence that I love, simple, not a lot of nuance happening, a simple sound from the Atlantis. And my process, it's always start with something like that and then make it special with the use of effects. The great things of Intellijel Sealegs is the fact that it packs a lot of stuff in one module. So let's listen. Now I have the freeze on. So as you can hear, it's not just a delay. We have this part here that actually works with the delay line. Then we have a modulation line, which now it's using an envelope follower to modulate both the time of the delay and also it's going into the color. And then you have a reverb part and a noise part. So all together, you have this very interesting mellow, crunchy sound, which I love. I'm doing a simple sequence here, and then I can play the keyboard mode. We will listen also with some stuff here. So let's clean everything and let's go step by step and let's talk what it is. So at its core, of course, it's a delay. And now I'm clocked it with Oxy. And you have different way here to set your basic delay. First, you have a 3 different settings about the length of the time. It could be from millisecond to 6 seconds when it's long. In this case, I'm in a short. And then next to it, you have this slider which select the Pong. So it will just pong the two signals, left and right, or you have a time and width, which just will offset the right channel, creating a wider stereo range, and then left and right, in which the two sliders will control two different delay lines, one for the left channel and one for the right. These two sliders, of course, change based on this position. I like a lot the time and width, so the first one select the time of it. It could be synced, so when it's synced, it goes by dotted 8, 16th, etc., etc. When it's unsynced, of course, it's unsynced. And then if I push the width, as you can hear, there's a slight offset in the delay time, which open up the stereo. I really like it. And then you have the feedback. Simple. Then you go into a modulation. Here, I forgot, there's also this drive, which sounds great. This basically at 0 doesn't let any sound to pass through the circuit, but then you can start pushing it. And I guess there's a limiter or something, because you can push it hard, but it keeps tamed, and it sounds really good. Then, okay, the modulation. Modulation is pretty complex. It can be from different waves that you select with this slider. Now I'm in wow and flutter. The rate and depth are the depth. It's hardwired to the time, so if I just had it, it will go directly there. And then you have an envelope follower negative, and you can see that by the green or the red. Envelope follower positive, and then a plethora of different waves from ramp, sine, sample and hold, random. You can change by that morphing, or if you want a precise one, you press the Alt button and move through them. The depth control how much of this signal is sent to the time, but you can put it at 0, and this modulation is sent to the modulation output, which is fun because then you can grab any cable. And I like to use always the my volts halo, because I can see what happened. So for example, I can say use a positive envelope follower. I can see that at the more rate, and now I can see from the blinking part that there's some signal here, and now I can send this to any other things. For example, I can decide to send it to the mix. And now it will make the mix on and off. I can send it to the noise. I like a lot to send it to the noise because it created this. See, now it's gone and now come back. Okay, then we have a filter and a color. So the color depends on the tape of the delay, which we didn't talk about. Right now I'm in a digital. Then you have bucket brigade. Let's remove this, right? And then tape. Each one, of course, is a different emulation of a delay. By now, you should know all of these. Basic tape, bucket brigade, and digital is the kind of delay you will find all over the place. Each one has a color slide. So, for example, on tape, it will have degradation, like a whole tape. On bucket brigade, it will have this crunchiness that happens when you have a degraded signal in the bucket brigade, and digital will add digital noise. Or digital, it's not properly noise, but it's clock noise. Also, the feedback behave differently depending on the, not the feedback, the time. If you are in digital, the time when you move it, it will change instantly. If it's in tape, it will be slowed. Same with the bucket brigade. And that is cool when you use the freeze button here, with freeze the buffer. If you are in digital, you can change in the different buffer and change the time without having the artifact of a tape moving, which is cool to create weird sound. Instead, on tape, you will have the, like, moving the tape, which is cool too. I really like digital though. Okay, master filter, which act, of course, on the wet line. And then, few other things. We have the noise here, and the noise has different setting. This is like a noise that happen before the end of the chain. So it's only, you can hear it only if the mix is up. Then pressing Alt give you the crackling. And then if you go with Alt clockwise, you have the Is, and Is is placed at the end of the chain. So no matter what your mix will be, you can hear it. And it's always sound nice to have some of it, because it had that higher frequency that I love. And then you can tame it with the filter. At the end, we have the fog. Fog is a lush reverb. And you have just the sand, basically, and then with Alt, the decay, how long it is. Pressing this button, the Alt, you can access the trim volume, you can access the different mode of the noise, the different decay, and also set the aux destination, mean that here there's an aux CV. You can send stuff to it and decide to go to the drive, noise, modulation, fog, or mix. All of these here are the modulation input for these sliders. So let's change and let's listen it with something else. So I have something going on in the Vongon, so I will just unplug this guy. The Vongon goes into the system through another module from Intellijel. I have a lot of Intellijel modules and keys. So these make the line level good for Eurorack level. So now I want to unsync. Let's listen to different sound. We can use wow and flutter here. To create this wobbliness. If you want to use the modulation out of the modulation output here and not impact at all on the time, you just set the depth to 0. Because depth doesn't work with this. So now we can create some random thing. We can send it in the OxyV and said now it's sending the noise. So it creates this noise coming in and out. I'm using the Vongon Replay with the arpeggiation modality in which I had note and it will put in the arpeggio. A feature that I really like. So from here to here, we can push and distort a little. I like some time to freeze the buffer. Let's hear the tape. Let's send some modulation to the color, for example. I'll use an LFO, send color, use the attenuator. Slower. Let's use some other modulation. And now we can change the filter. Stay there. What else? We can add some depth to change the time now. Just a little. Let's put ping pong. It sounds pretty great. At the end of the video, we'll do some other example, so stay tuned. Maybe we will listen also to chords. It's great for dub stuff, of course. You know I love that. One great thing is start patching everything and make it very complex. So if we go back to this guy and we play, and let's use now, instead of the LFO, we can use the mimetic digitalis, which is a clocked CV modulation source. Now I'm changing the time. We can modify here and set this to fog. So it's gonna, the aux CV controlled by modulation, it will add reverb. So it creates this wobbly, interesting stuff. And it's really great to just start any sequence. And I love how as you can hear, it's very beautiful, the crunchiness of the sound, especially when you drive it a little. So, there's plenty of demos, and also this can use simply as a normal sounding delay. So this is how I like it. I got it mostly because I like how these things sound together, and the crunchiness, said crunchiness enough today? The crunchiness that it gives to the sound, it makes it so organic, and it's beautiful. I recorded a lot of stuff with it. And of course, at this point, just to conclude the video and then we go to some other example, there's plenty of opportunity. Like, for example, I have the mimeophone, which I love too. It sounds completely different and they really works nice together. Even the mimeophone can add some reverb, halo they call it. So if you want a system in which each voice go through one effects that adds a lot of power to the sound, mimeophone is great, Sealegs is great, and also the Verso platform from Noise Engineering is great. I'm using this one as Desmodus version, which is a reverb, but also can sound a little like a delay. So each voice has its full chain right away. And this, let's add some more note. We need to clock. I like to change while I'm discussing, right? So this could be really a great solution for all of your effect needing. We are talking about what's the bread and butter of effect: delay, reverb, some texture with noise, and modulation. And it's really easy to operate. It's mostly plug and play. So, yeah, I love it. I like also to create these glitchy possibilities. But yeah, that's about it for today. I will do a few examples so you can check other sound through it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.